Hey, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, folks. It's the one and only V The Guerrilla coming to you live. What the heck is that sound? The bat phone is ringing. The Gus phone is ringing.
Someone's trying to buy shit. Thank God. Sorry.
Oh, good, man. Hey, we got Gus Demos with us, folks. Perpetualassets.com. Perpetualassets.com. If you don't want to let your 401k become a 101k, you want to grab your retirement by the balls, get a hold of Gus Demos over at perpetualassets.com. With that being said, gentlemen, good morning, guys. How are you guys doing?
Good. Before you jump down, we were just talking about how he had a bathroom situation where we were concealed carrying.
Hey, that was supposed to be private, Gus. I don't want to talk about my bathroom situation.
This is not sounding so right, guys. Bathroom situation? You're concealing and carrying? What's going on here?
The overarching theme ties in to both the Ukrainian girl getting stabbed and the Philly baseball dad with the Karen in the stands.
Oh, sure.
At what point are you obligated to put your foot down for your child versus, again, as if you're carrying a firearm, if you're a concealed, a CCW holder, then we were just discussing, like, yeah, you're obligated to kind of never start shit. Like, that being said, the Phillies dad is a total fucking pussy. Like, if Elizabeth Warren starts screaming at you, trying to take your son's fucking baseball, you stand up and say, bitch, sit the fuck down. Get the fuck away from me.
I'm not aware. I mean, I saw what the bitch looked like on the tail end of that whole entire thing. But what happened? The guy gave his ball that his son caught to this crazy woman.
So when a baseball enters this, okay, I lived like a block from Wrigley Field for over 5 years. So I've been to like 100 ball games, and so this is kind of common knowledge amongst people who go to baseball games. When a baseball enters the stands, it's fair game. It's like the thing rolls funny. There's 10 hands reaching for it, blah, blah, blah. So in this situation, ball enters the stands. It's fucking rumbling around. The father came over, 5-10 seats, whatever, and grabbed the ball from the ground. And the Karen was offended because it was closer to her, it was near her seat, and she felt she had claim to the ball. Whatever, it's a bullshit Karen trying to exude fucking power like we've seen a million times the last 10 years. But she came over to the dad and started yelling at him in front of his kids. He took the baseball back to his son, handed it to his son. And the fucking bitch started screaming at him, and he said, "Okay, take the ball." So he let this fucking dumb bitch emasculate him in front of his boy at a ball game. Now everyone's rallied around. A guy donated World Series tickets to the whole family. The family's been made right, but the overarching theme is, why are you letting some bitch come over and take your boy's baseball? Like, it's like, seriously, like. That being said, we took the other side of the equation, and if you want to tell the story, he was in a bathroom with his son, and some fucking freak was washing his hair in the sink. And he
looked like he got out of jail last week, and he's washing his hair in the sink, and this is the kind of shit that we left LA to get away from, right? And we haven't been in the mall forever, and apparently that's where all the people you don't want to be around congregate.
The malls aren't what they used to be.
No. The malls is full of trash. And so, my son's got to go pee. So we go in there, and he's washing his hair in the sink. And so by the time we're done, he's like standing in front of the paper towel dispenser, and he's like using these paper towels to dry one after another to dry his freaking greasy ass hair. And I'm like,
maybe he's homeless.
No, if he's homeless, his clothes look far too nice for that.
Fucking weird.
So if he's homeless,
maybe he's one of those van lifers.
Whatever he is, motherfucker, I need a paper towel. And there was no other towel dispenser in the bathroom. And my kid, he doesn't like loud noise, so I'm not putting him in front of that Dyson Airblade thing that just blows people's piss shit out water all over the bathroom. And so anyway, I'm thinking to myself, dude, if this is like, I don't know, 20 years ago, like, I'd be like, bro, I need a paper towel, right? But we've had all the weird shit. We've had George Floyd. I remember I was living in LA in George Floyd. And I said, excuse me, just walking by a dude at the store. And there's this like black dude, and he's like, "You're lucky I don't punch you." I'm thinking, I didn't say nothing because I'm not going to say nothing.
This is in LA.
This is in LA, yeah.
Oh.
Well, I trained martial arts for years. I mean, dude wants to throw down, it's fine, but I'm not going to have a problem. You know what I mean? There's like other black people around. It's George Floyd. I don't want to get, jumped, right? And
You tell him you're Sicilian. You're half black.
yeah, well, that doesn't shine through the blue eyes and the freaking
No.
blonde hair. So this guy, actually, it's not. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but long story short, I wipe my hands on my shirt because I'm concealed carry and you can't start anything. What am I going to start anything with my 3-year-old in the bathroom? And this dude's pretty big. I mean, I'm sure I can fight, but what if the dude kick my ass? I don't fucking know. So long story short, it's like, and Gus, you said it last week, when you got a lot to lose, you don't want to have a problem. What if I just put the dude on the ground and his head hit it a little too hard and he died? Or even if I just kicked his ass and got arrested, I gotta go to jail.
Yeah, cops are arresting everybody.
What's that?
They're gonna arrest everybody.
Yeah, everybody gets arrested.
I think as a father, when your kid is with you, I view it almost as two. And I'll tell you this, my story about Friday night. I had to take my daughter to the ER, and they almost kicked me out because, within. I'll get to that story, the details of this story. She had a fever. I had a fever. The whole house got nuked with something, a flu. But I'll get there. As a father, there are two ways to view it. Your bathroom scenario is more of I'm avoiding trouble. I have my kid with me and I'm avoiding trouble. The Philly game scenario, my scenario in the emergency room is I have to put an end to trouble. Trouble's already found me. So imagine your bathroom scenario, but that fucking guy turns around and points his finger at your boy or something. So that scenario is like, okay, trouble's already found me now. Now I have to put an end to this. So it's one thing to, you drive into you have your kids in the car and you drive into a fucking, Antifa fucking protest that's looking for trouble. Yeah. But if trouble shows up at if trouble engages you, like Philly Karen, like my ER situation, you have to you're a fucking dad. You have to put your fucking foot down. Fuck that. No. This is getting fucking stopped quickly. So your bathroom situation, if he would have done something, hands-on or engaged the kid, then all those rules go out. Then it's like, okay, now trouble's here. Fuck this bullshit.
He's on the floor at that point.
Yeah, that's or he's got a pistol in his mouth and he could give you his theories on his situation then. But yeah, I mean, no, seriously. Okay, playtime's over. You're engaging my daughter. I'm putting a pistol at your balls. Okay, right. Are we ready now? So we'll let a jury sort this out later. I have lawyers for that. But the ER situation is, daughter has a fever, first fever. My logic is, everything I've known my whole life, along with I started asking AI, what's the temperature I should be. Mom's a bit more paranoid than I am. The baby hits 102. Mom says, let's go to the hospital. I say, okay, whatever, let's just go. We get to the fucking hospital. It's 8 p.m. at night on a Friday. Yeah. I explained the symptoms. I said, baby's got a 102. I have a 101.5. Slight, the baby's lethargic, blah, blah, blah. The fucking RN, dude, took 10 seconds to listen to this monologue and responded with, have you all been COVID tested yet?
Oh, fuck out of here. It's 2025.
Fuck you.
Dude, I looked at her in the fucking eye and I said, I didn't come here to get combative, but you better shut that shit down fucking fast. And she goes, what, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, there are a fucking 1,000 things that could be going on right now. From contamination, bacterial contamination, salmonella, standard flu, blah. And you lead 10 seconds in, you lead with fucking COVID.
Yeah, it's a sales pitch.
And Naples, fucking Florida.
Yeah.
So this escalated right away. It got 15 minutes, 30 minutes later, it got even more heated. They're like, well, we need to COVID tester. I'm like, shut the fuck
Fuck
up,
out of here. COVID test my
dude.
ass. Dude, I remember I tore my bicep. That was the first thing they asked me too. You get COVID test? Fuck out of here. No.
They start drilling me about what vaccines she's taken. This isn't the DeSantis, Florida, in Collier County, 75%
red as it can get.
redder. And this place is like Karen. It's a bunch of fucking Karen woke COVID bitches running around. So I had to shut it down. Like, fuck you people. We're leaving. Like, without getting arrested, I had to, a lot of people have a problem going to a hospital and telling the hospital employees to shut the fuck up. But if I can't do that for my daughter, then I'm a fucking pussy. Like, I am a spot. My daughter isn't being protected. Her dad's a fucking pansy who doesn't have the balls to yell at some fucking nurse Karen cunt who's trying to stick needles in my fucking daughter. So
crazy, bro.
Trouble again.
It's crazy.
It's you don't look for trouble, but when especially with your kids around. But when trouble, dude, that's how we got people's fear of confrontation. Is how we got the tranny bullshit with the kids. It's how we got 100%. The COVID. It's how we got the COVID bullshit. It's how we got the vaccine bullshit. People are like afraid to fucking be confrontational, and you in the face of evil, you can't be, especially with your fucking kids on the line.
Yeah,
like you don't want to upset some fucking bitch nurse who's trying to fucking tell my daughter she needs a fucking hepatitis shot. Like, are you fucking crazy? Like, that needle will end up in your fucking forehead before it ends up in my fucking daughter. Right. Like, so no, it's just not fucking happening. Like, and my sole job is to protect my daughter, including from these fucking medical parasite bullshitters who think we're all fucking retarded and have to follow their orders still after all the criminality of the last 5 years, all the lies, all the bullshit. So it just, again, that's our dude. That's our fucking job. And I don't go out seeking trouble anymore. But no, dude, if trouble knocks on your door, especially for your fucking kid, fuck no.
Yeah.
But I'm with you, dude. I wouldn't, if we're at a mall or a restaurant and a skirmish broke out or whatever, I'm not gonna. I would grab my daughter and look for the exit before I would, engage. But it's up to us to evaluate the situation real time. Like, you obviously want to avoid it, but if it's right in front of you, they don't leave us much choice,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of makes you think of the mostly peaceful, train stabbing that happened in North Carolina.
Yeah, well, he was oppressed. That's why.
That's what it was. Okay. I guess the passengers around were impressed because they didn't do shit either.
Oh yeah, they didn't want to. They didn't want to get confrontational.
Isn't it? Is there anything unique about that story other than the fact the whole thing's captured? That's been the 5 year ongoing saga. We've seen people thrown into train tracks. Yes. We've seen 10-on-1 beatdowns. We've seen. I mean, it's just over and over and over. So I don't. When are these? What could that girl have done differently? I mean, not turned her back to a fucking predator-looking Tyrone, fucking thug. I don't know. Avoid public transportation, but is that her?
And it's like people need to have.
You know what? I'll say something here. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's situational awareness.
It is situational awareness. Like, if I was in a situation like the first thing I do, I go to the back. I go sit somewhere else. I don't want to be sitting directly in front of somebody and not having without ascertaining them head to toe. I wouldn't be sitting in front of somebody.
Well, even you look at like trained special ops guys, and they always tell you in a restaurant or a public place. They always have their back to a wall where they could see the entrances, exits. They never have their back to a crowd, or they try not to. They always want to be able to see everything. including the entry. Where's the exit? Where's the entrance? Is no one? Nothing's behind me except for a wall. No one can blindside me. Like, just to have complete, situational awareness and visibility in regards to what's in front of them, and making sure nothing's behind them. Yeah. But dude, it's ongoing. I mean, it's why I'm here. It's why I live here. I'd much rather be living, if it was safe, I'd much rather be living in downtown Miami or Chicago or New York or, but, as a child, the laws the way they are now, or I'm sorry, with a child and the laws the way they are now, what are your options? Fuentes had a great tweet. He goes, what are your options at this point? You either walk away, or you get on a bus, you see, 20 angry black dudes. You either walk away, you're a racist because you're stereotyping. You either get killed, or you fight.
Well, getting killed and raped is a virtue, Gus. It's a virtue. You'll be, you'll be, entering sainthood with the left.
Or you fight back and you get arrested. You get handcuffs. I said it early on in 2020. Once I saw the way this was playing out, meaning, these 20 people could jump on your car, or they could try to pull an old lady out of her car. And if the old lady pulls out a pistol to defend herself, she's getting the handcuffs. Yes. So it's violence. My problem isn't the violence. My problem is who's getting the handcuffs. And they've proven it over and over and over. You are getting the handcuffs. And in their jurisdictions, you are getting the handcuffs if it escalates. So, take that for what you will. Is it going to get back to some level of normalcy? Dude, how many arrests does this fucking guy have? 14?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, what are we even doing here? Like, what are we pretending anymore? Like, some guy who is stabbing Whitey in the throat after 14 arrests, and like, we can't say he's fucking black. Like, it's like, really? Like, so what are we doing here anymore? Like, I don't understand. That's why my avatar, everything's fake. Like, everything is fake.
Well, including the judge. So these magistrate judges, they don't even need to be lawyers.
Really?
I don't know if you know that.
Yeah, I did not know that. Cowboy, could you expand on that? Like, they don't have to have any sort of law school.
They don't have to have law school, law degree. Wow. They don't have to have ever been an attorney. They just have to know the right politician and maybe own the right mental care facility that they're sending these criminals to. What did I just say? So
she's basically, wow.
Wait a minute, hold on. So this woman, and I put a big thread in the Discord on this. I don't want to go with we can run it on a different show, but the short end of the story.
We could say it.
No, I'm going to say it, but I was not going to do a whole piece on it. So this judge, right? Yeah. I think she might have been a lawyer, but a lot of these judges letting these guys go are not even attorneys. They're not, they're just appointed. Now, this particular one, I'll get her name in a second. She also owns the mental health facility to which these guys are all being sent, or she's like the managing director and part owner of it.
Oh, I mean, there's no conflict of interest there.
No corruption possibility there at all.
And this guy was let go.
If you think that's racist and sexist on your part, Gus.
Yeah, no. This guy was let go like 14 times. It's called what is it called? Second Chance Services. She's the current director of operations, and I think she might also be part owner. She's also the magistrate judge. Her name is Teresa Stokes, and she let this guy walk free, right, and stab her. She's also what is it here? Oh, Eric Holder's associate, Judge Carla Archie, appointed Stokes, and they're also is friends with the mayor. And if I were just like looking into things, I would find out who are all of the owners of that mental health care facility. And I would find out who their relationships are and who appoints who and who gets these appointments, whether it's in the company or whether it's in the government. Because you think about it, it's like, oh well, no, he's not. He has a mental health problem. He killed like 5 people last night. Yeah, but he's insane, and we'll get 10 grand if we send him to our facility. So just say he's crazy. Yeah,
I think you're going to see segregation intensify.
That's
where
balkanization.
People are just, you're going to see people look, and white people for sure eventually are just going to say, I don't give a fuck.
I mean, like, what about Williamsburg, Brooklyn, bro? I mean, you got a lot of yuppies moving in there because it's wonderful.
Listen,
you don't want the cultural experience, Gus? The authentic experience?
You could say what you want, but the Latinos keep their fucking neighborhoods Latino, and they don't put up with this shit. And the blacks keep their neighborhood black. Like, so you're gonna see whitey eventually say enough's enough. Like, you're
not all whiteys, bro.
No, well, let them. Well, you know, I don't know anything about. I don't know anything about this Ukrainian girl at all.
Well, she had a BLM sticker, a banner on her in her room.
You know, there
wasn't her room.
Huh?
It wasn't.
It wasn't her room. No.
Yeah. What?
It wasn't her bedroom. It was someone else's bedroom.
How do you know that? Were you in her bedroom?
No. They've seen pictures of her in her room, and that photo apparently they found the real one. It's other people are in the photo with her, and I mean, if she did, she did. I don't know. I mean, she's from Ukraine, so maybe she did.
You're gonna see segregate. Whitey is gonna say enough and just segregate and say I'm
What's
done.
Happening? You got that guy opening up his own whites only neighborhood.
You're gonna see it intensify, and they're gonna cry, "Oh my God, this is racist!" Like, but what do you want? Like, you know, you can't have it both ways. Like, you're death to Whitey, and then Whitey's leaving. Like, which is it? I mean, you can't. It's they had a smash and grab, by the way, again on the Rolex store in Chicago, and I
saw the pictures. Holy shit! And those idiots are grabbing dummy watches, but they don't care.
The point is, like, Nordstrom leaves, Rolex leaves, Whitey leaves. It's like, okay, fucking keep it. Good luck, adios, motherfucker. Like, what do you want? Like, what do you want? What do you expect? Just, oh, you're not going to let us carjack you and kill you anymore? No. Bye. See ya. Good luck. Like, you know, keep it. Good luck. Congratulations. You created another Detroit or another Oakland or another shithole. Congratulations. You know, now you can go study particle physics in the ghetto. Like, it's all a fucking joke. Like, it's all a joke at this point. Like, so what do you want? You won't, the primary thing is, even within, you know, I often talk about the tribalism of the Jews. The blacks are right behind them at number 2. Like, the kid who stabbed the kid in the stands at the football game.
Oh yeah,
like they launched a GoFundMe for him for fucking
Carmelo Anthony.
Like, they launched a GoFundMe for the train stabber.
Yeah, they did.
What kind
BLM.
What kind of logic do you have? I've made this point numerous times. What kind of, like, twisted tribalism have you reached if you are defending the most vile scumbags of your tribe? Like, if your tribalism has reached a point that you're like, oh, I got to defend killers now or rapists, and, like, you've lost the plot. Do you see me launching a fucking fundraiser for Ted Bundy or John Wayne Gacy?
I was just gonna say that, dude.
It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Like, the tribalistic nature, some groups take it to such an extreme, and I guess I get it for the Jews because it's such a scam and a grift, and it is for the blacks too. Shanique was never going to give up her I look like Cleopatra and I'm the most special girl in the world, and like, okay, to continue your little scam there, whatever you want. Like, but, like, don't expect me to play by it. Like, it's like, okay, whatever. You have a little tribal scam going that I owe a complete stranger you've never met owes you something. Like, it's nice little con you have going there, by the way. But, like, don't expect me to play along with it. Like, you go sell that bullshit to CNN. Like, but dude, what goes on in your in your heart, in your soul, if you're donating to a killer. Like, it's like, I don't understand it. I don't understand the logic. And again, I'm proud of being Greek, but like, if I see a Greek scumbag, I'm not like, oh yeah, I gotta help that guy out.
Gotta help
like,
him.
Gotta make sure that guy fucking ends up doing well. Like, so no, bro, I don't get it. I don't get it. But the tribal grift and scam is so great with some of these people that, yeah, I don't understand.
Well, I'm Italian. I started a post-mortem GoFundMe for Mussolini.
Yeah. Well, you could argue Mussolini had some really good points. The train showed up on time finally. But the again, I don't know. I don't. If they were able to self-regulate, but dude, and they used to, like, more so. Like, I knew we were in trouble. The truth is, with the Black community, the first time I knew we had a problem was the OJ celebration verdict. that's when I'm like, wait a minute, what now? You guys are cheering this? Really? Like, so that's when I'm like, this is kind of, but tell me, it happened decades and decades and decades ago, right? But they celebrated a Black dude chopping people's heads off and getting away with it. Like, so you have to wonder what's the motive there? Why would you celebrate that? This guy chopped two people's heads off. And Chris Rock jokes about it, like, I don't agree with it, but I understand he was drive.
That was a great show. That was a great line.
Yeah, the waiter's fucking his ex-wife and driving around his Ferrari or whatever. I understand, but it's like no one celebrates it. Like, it's like they celebrate it.
I don't say I agree with it, but I understand.
Bro,
that's not bad.
That level of tribalism, it's like, okay, but at the same time, he's the same. Chris Rock is the same comic who said, when I'm at the ATM at 2 a.m, I'm not looking over my shoulder for the media.
Yeah.
No, he goes, I love Black people. But we used to kind of acknowledge that reality. Like, the ghetto is fucking dangerous.
Yeah, even Black people will acknowledge the reality, because we understand the difference between Black people, and then even Black people will say there's a difference between Blacks and the N-word.
Bro, no, there's all kinds of Black people, like on Twitter, elsewhere. You got Dom Lucra, you got a few others.
Lots, man.
Hodge brother or Hodge twins, like. So we don't want to like do what they're trying to make us do. I think is lump all Black people together. I think that's extremely unwise.
Yeah, they're trying to balkanize. If you notice, like, we're at end stage empire collapse. Now it's like everybody's got Black fatigue, Indian fatigue, Asian fatigue.
Yeah, cue the race
fatigue. War. Everybody's being fatigued.
But dude, those are like, the Hodge twins are a perfect example. They would never stick up for a Black murderer.
No,
like, because they use logic. It's just simple. Like, oh, this guy's a dangerous scumbag. Like, this guy should be in a fucking cage. Like, so they're not tribal enough, to do that. It's the problem is Black people that identify the tribe above all else. Like, it's like, if you're staring at a fucking piece of shit, dude. I was once, my mom and aunt came into Cali, and I took them. Anyway, I ended up sitting with these two. I think one of them was mulatto, like half Black. The other one was Mexican. I ended up sitting with these two chicks. I was trying to get down the Mexican's pants, obviously, at brunch, and they started pulling. This is before woke was a thing. This is probably like 2018. And she's like, oh, racism. And I said, I shut it down right away. I'm like, you know what your problem is? I'm like, if you can acknowledge that there are pieces of shit in every tribe,
yeah,
including your own, that's your problem.
Right.
Like, your problem is you want to blame, Whitey or whoever. It's like, no, there are white pieces of shit. There are also Black pieces of shit. There are also Mexican pieces of shit. There are also, Chinese pieces of shit. Like, the fact you have this tribal thing in your mind where like, oh no, like shut the fuck up. Like wake, you should go out more, and you know, like so. I don't know what causes it. You know, I don't know if it's a great. Who knows?
I can hazard a guess here. I used to spend a fair amount of time amongst my melanated friends. It's been a minute since I lived in LA, but
is that what I am to you?
No, I'm referring to specifically black people. V, if I said what you were to me right now, no, I'm just kidding. So I think the thing is that if you stand apart from your community like that, there's a lot of shaming that goes on. And then basically
Uncle Tom,
Uncle Tom,
they're
gonna kick you out, your family's gonna hate you, your mom gonna hate you, your dad's gonna hate you. Like, so I think the pressure is on that if you feel that way, you're not gonna talk about it. Like it's gonna be the silent. I'd like to think it was the silent majority. I'd like to think the people that are screaming and donating to murderers are more of a minority, but I don't. Like I say, I haven't been around the community for a little while now, so I can't speak for him.
No, dude. I can't be, brother. I can't be friends with a fucking black race pimp. Like it's impossible. Like because what a black race pimp is ultimately demanding of you is submission for nothing you've ever done to him. Like they're asking submission from a total stranger. You owe him something. Like so. Yeah. There was my brother came to when Vegas opened back up. My brother came right on this is like 3-4 weeks after George Floyd. So Vegas opened back up before it got obnoxious with the mask mandates and all this. And this fucking black dude came over. Me and my brother are sitting down. We were at the Cosmo lounge, and we were waiting for our drink, having a smoke, whatever. The black dude comes up. He's all right. He's like, hey, can I buy a smoke from you? I'm like, dude, just fucking take one, whatever. They're fucking 50 cents. It went good for about 2 minutes. And then he started telling me Chicago's racist. And I'm like, dude, get the fuck out of here. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Chicago's like 99%.
Bro, I'm like, get the fuck away from me. Like, get the fuck away from me. Like, so we were having a normal, dude, just a complete black stranger. We're at the casino. And again, I know this on the heels of Floyd and all that shit, but he's like, oh, where are you from? Oh, I'm originally from here. Oh, I'm from Chicago. Yeah, I live in Chicago. It's a bit racist. I'm like, what the fuck are you? Get the fuck out of my face. Like, I can't be friends with a race pimp.
You can't.
No, dude, it's unconscious. It's like you lead with that in 2 minutes. Yeah, it's like, okay,
bro. They just repeat axioms without even understanding or recognizing where the heck it's all coming from. It's just unbelievable.
Well, it's the same kind of thing if you meet a girl, romantically or otherwise, and she leads with all her victimhood stories, like, yeah, sure. So if you meet a girl, it's like, oh, I've been abused 55 times, and, my dad, my boyfriend,
everybody abused me.
Okay, I have a professional victim on my hands. It's like, I don't want to deal with you. Get the fuck away from me. Like, it's just like, yeah, no, dude, black people are fine as long as they're not race pimps. Like, put the tribal shit away like everyone else, and that bro, it's been the grievance of, like, even when I talked about the fucking Israeli pedophile flying into Vegas, it's like, how are they sticking up? Like, how are the Jews sticking up for this? Like, it's like demand his head, fly him back. Like,
yeah, fly him back, and yeah,
we want the United States should want to castrate him and slowly torture him on television, like. So, the issue is they're going to force, these tribes are going to force the masses of whitey to become tribal eventually, like in the same direction.
It's happening now.
They're leaving them no choice. Like, if it's open, you've declared to all these other tribes, you need to be mass tribal. And by the way, kill whitey. Like, it's like, okay, well, you're kind of forcing whitey's hand, aren't you? Like, and eventually enough whiteys are going to be like, yep, we need to do our own here's what we're doing now. Like, okay, like, is that and maybe that's the outcome they want.
I think it is.
It might be where all the Nazis they warned us about for the last 10 years, they've gone out of their way to create them. You're like, oh yeah, we're gonna molest your kids, and we're gonna stab you on trains, and we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna SWAT team you at 6 a.m. Like, maybe the plan all along the last 10 years was to actually radicalize whitey to be tribal as fuck. I don't, maybe
No, I'm seeing it. It's on X. It's an operation.
Bro, it's the only, if you acknowledge that, you know, the goal is, you know, survive, instinctually the goal is survival. Yeah. You know, how do you survive? The goal right now, they're leaving whitey little option but to tribe up. And this was the place we grew up in 20 years ago was the exact opposite of that. Like, no one gave a fuck. Like, you watch these videos from like concerts in 1995 and 2000, and you know, no one gave a fuck. Like, everyone got along with it. But everything that's happened is, I don't see any other way. I don't see any other way around it. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
It got a little scary in the early 90s. I lived near LA in the early 90s, so we had the Rodney King thing.
Yeah.
And then so out there, the race war thing kind of was getting a little scary. So there was that. But besides that, yeah, from the 90s through like the early 2000s, race relations were great. And then they started dialing it up, you know, post Obama.
Yeah, well, I've said it to people a million times. I've gotten treated better in Asia. I get treated better in Latin America and in Asia as a white man than I do in any white country. I don't know if that makes sense or not.
That makes perfect sense. If you look at what's happening in Europe, it's a perfect example of what you're just saying.
Bro, I've been up and down Latin America, numerous countries, numerous towns, numerous cities. I've been to Asia, numerous countries, and Asia just loves me or loves us, whatever. Like, but
they love you a long time.
Latin America is the same way. Like, I've never had people fuck with me, even in, like, you know, what's quote unquote considered dangerous places like Acapulco or Tijuana or wherever. I've never had anyone fuck with me. Like, it's like, no, they roll out the red carpet, and that's my experience anyway. Like, you know, but here in your home country, no. No, yeah, I know it sounds crazy for those of you who haven't gotten to Asia or, you know, numerous parts of Latin America, but no, they treat you better there than they'll treat you in New York or Chicago or Los Angeles or wherever. So, I mean, explain that to me, like, because the Western countries are the only ones who got this propaganda of tribe up and destroy each other. Like, that's, which it kind of is like the Jewish conspiracy. Like, the conspiracy is that the Jews are trying to create melting pots in all these Western countries, so whitey could never rise up and dethrone the yid from his bank. Like, so that's their idea. Like, import, and just create fucking chaos amongst the Muslims, the Christians, the blacks, the whites, the Latinos, and that way you never really realize the oligarchy pulling the strings behind it all. So, like I said, you don't see this shit anywhere else. You don't see it in Argentina. You don't really see it in fucking Colombia. You don't see it in El Salvador. You don't see, you know, whatever. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy that, if maybe this is going to be harsh, but the truth is, it's whitey's fault for letting it get this far the last 10, 15 years. Like, the minute they were allowed to start going on in newspapers and media and, you know, saying some of these things, it's like their viewership should have went to zero. But maybe that ties into what we were saying last week, which is it's the white woman holding this up. It's the 19th Amendment holding it. Well, think about it. Who's the average CNN viewer? Who's the average New York Times, LA Times reader? Who's it's not
the devourer of civilization, the liberal white woman.
Well, it's the liberal white woman who, you know, would take any of this seriously. Like, you know, hate your dad, hate your grandfather, hate hate your ancestors, you should be embarrassed about what the Europeans have done the last 3,000 years. Instead of being proud of it, which you should be embarrassed about it. It's like, really? Like, so yeah, it's certainly by design, and you know, that's maybe that conclusion I've come to, that they want white to be as radical as they warned us about the last 30 years. So even with Ruby Ridge, even with Waco, there was the father in the Ruby Ridge situation has a famous photo where he's say no to say no to Zog, say no to the Zionist occupied government. So this isn't a new phenomenon. They've been against whitey for a long time. It just gained a lot of steam in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you look back at everything that has been accomplished by, you know, European cultures, I know there's colonialism and, you know, fine, yeah, bad shit happened, but just take a look at the continent of Europe and all the beautiful stuff that's been built going back far before all the colonialism, going back to, you know, 1,000 years. Is, you know, the
That's
civilized
just racism. How
that's just
dare you.
racism. Yeah, it's totally racist.
They are their entire subjective bullshit view on history is all dependent on someone being so fucking stupid that they can't actually study what the ancient Egyptians were, or what the ancient Persians were, or what the Chinese were, or what the fucking Mongols were. So when you just focus on whitey, you know, quote unquote bad whitey is the last 2,500 years or 3,000 years, then you don't. Oh, Egypt had slaves too. Oh, the Persians had this, and this too. Oh, the Mongols had blah blah blah. Oh, the Chinese, like, it's
Yeah,
like,
the Ottomans invaded and held Europe for like 600 years.
bro. This is all. Everyone does the same fucking thing. Like,
Yeah.
enough with no. It was simply
No, you guys are wrong. It's only the white man that did conquering.
It's
like
only
when the white man showed up in North America, the Native Americans were just sitting around braiding each other's hair and smoking peyote, and the evil white man.
The Native
came
Americans were conquering each other all day long. So
what?
Of course,
what are you talking about? No.
of course they were, and they would again.
They were
Slavery,
slaughtering each other. Look at the fucking Aztecs, man. If there's a culture that I think God has been wiped off the face of the earth, it's the Aztecs. Good riddance.
No, bro, it's the fact that conquest and who you conquest, who you conquer. You know, the men become slaves, or the women become slaves. The men get killed, whatever. But that's not a European phenomenon. That's global. Like, that's no. And they know, dude. They know that. They fucking know. They just don't. They play to the fucking ignorance of the populace, and that's why they need to brainwash them so young. And that's why, again, on and on and on. But it's, dude. The Aztecs are one example. The fucking Mongols were such fucking savages.
They were.
Like, dude, the Egyptians were savages.
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah, but there's a book about the Mongols and what they actually did for the civilization. Yes, they were savages, but they also brought like an actual economy. Like, there's a bunch of stuff they did that no one ever talks about. All you hear is, oh, they're savages and they conquered. No, they literally brought civilization to parts of the world that had never seen it.
No, bro, I don't sit around and hold. Dude, even the Ottomans and the Turks. As a Greek dude, I don't sit around saying, "Oh, goddamn those!" Like, I'll make Turkish jokes and shit, and I'll still say Constantinople to troll them, but I don't sit around thinking about all these different civilizations who aren't, white Christian, and saying, "Oh, damn those Egyptians! Damn that Pharaoh! Damn him!" You know, like
those freaking Mesopotamians.
Yeah, dude, I was arguing with someone on Twitter, like it was the IQ question. It was the genetic IQ based on race and all that, and I sent them a picture. I said the MIT versus Harvard math competition has looked the same for the last 30 years. And it's all,
yeah, exactly.
And it's all Asian. And the conversation was it was a Jew arguing with a black dude, and the Jew was trying to tell him what a geniuses Jews are.
Yeah,
and I'm like, why aren't Jews? I'm like, where are all the Jews in the MIT Harvard math competition? Like, it's all Asians.
It's all Asians and Indians, man.
So, and then the black guy chimed in, and he's like, "Oh, you're trying to tell me Africans are dumb?" I'm like, dude. I'm like, listen to me. I'm like, I'm fucking European. I'm Greek. Do you think I sit around irate that the Indians are starting to dominate chess? Like, it's just a simple example of like, I don't give a fuck.
Exactly. And, and you hit a nail on the head. The whole IQ thing is static. I mean, it's not a static thing. It's a dynamic thing. You can gain IQ and you can lose IQ. But go ahead.
Well, no, and it's argued like so many of the early. I just use chess as an example. So many of them were like the early grandmasters were like Russians, especially during the Cold War. And the argument for the Russian IQ is they had to preserve food in the winter, so all the dummies would eventually starve out, and everyone who immersed the last 1,000 years, they had to survive Russian winters and food preservation and, etc. Irrelevant. The point is, if someone sat me down and said, listen, Gus, the best mathematicians in the world are always going to be from Korea, as an example, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, damn those Koreans, they gotta burn in hell. Like, dude, these people are fucking dumb. They're sensitive. They're fucking dummies. Like, it's like, just shut the fuck up. Not everything's the end of the world if someone says it. Like, I don't get offended. It's people who might be good at. I don't get offended that Michael Jordan could jump over a fucking house. Like, oh god damn those blacks, they could fucking sure run. Like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with people? Like, why? Who gives a fuck if? Who gives a fuck if a black dude is likely to be faster or taller, or an Asian dude is likely to be better at calculus or something? Like, it's of no relevance. It shouldn't determine, your conviction or your rage about life. No, I mean, okay, great. Chinaman's going to be good at physics. Fantastic, congratulations. Like, what the fuck do I care? But I think people get too tribal, dude. They're just it's too much of a. It's too much of a. Maybe that's all because that's all they that's all they have. I don't know.
No, that's all they have left. Because it's oppress and oppressor and false narratives and all this other bullshit.
No,
they hit it hard with the trans thing. That's the next, like, those are the most radical ones. If you look at all, like, how many shooters in the recent year or two have all been trans.
Yeah.
That's the next oppressor extreme right there.
Yeah.
The trans thing?
Oh yeah. Because think about it. So they're pushing real hard for this trans deal. Up in like Minnesota or one of those communist areas, there was a girl who wanted to transition. And apparently the doctors were pushing hard on it, and the mom wouldn't let her. The mom said, no, you're just a lesbian. Be a lesbian, right? And the girl was like young, preteen. And the schools were, saying their stuff. The doctors were pushing, and the mom insisted. So 10 years later, now the girl's saying, I'm so glad that my mom did not allow me to do that. She's really happy. But the whole story was there to show you how much they're pressuring kids to, like, they were pressuring the parent, trying to say, like, hey, we're going to take a kid from you. Like, you're not letting your child be themselves. Why would they pressure so much? Well, I think I'm going to tell you why I think they're doing it. When you take somebody and then you convince them that they're somebody else, you get to them from a young age. So now you're making somebody who's basically insane. And then you cut off body parts and you put them on hormones. You put them on the SSRIs that they all have to be on. You're basically dealing with somebody who is not sane. And then you tell them that someone's trying to genocide them, because that's what they're all being told. So you have the brainwashing, the chemical changes, you're making them crazy, putting them on drugs that can make them influenceable, psychoactive medications. And then you're telling them as a community that they're being genocided. What do you think is going to happen?
I forget about it. You talk to any one of these nuts, they're gonna react in a violent way. That's exactly by design.
That's what we're seeing. It's by design. Guarantee you.
thus far, in the future, you might be right. But again, trying to observe objective reality currently, thus far, all the tranny shootings, mass shootings, and were actually pointed at us, normal people. So there might be you might be right down the road where the trannies start to lose their mind, like, oh my God, this healthcare provider did this for me, or this tranny studio or publication did this for me, you know, and I have to, you know, enact revenge on them. But thus far, it's all been pointed at, you know,
Well, I think they'll
Catholics
be
and
pointed wherever it's the most useful.
but I gotta think that not only are these kids, I think the tranny phenomenon, they have to get them on some sort of pharmaceuticals too to get them to believe this. I would think.
Yeah.
So I would think it's coupled with. So even before, someone once said, like, you should look at how many mass shootings there were before Columbine, because they were almost non-existent.
Correct.
No, kids used to
So
take their guns to school in the 50s and 60s. They'd take their guns to school and do shooting practice at school as a class, and then on the way home, they'd shoot the varmints in the field.
what happened in the 90s and in the 2000s? They got all the kids on pharma, or a much larger percentage. So if you combine pharma, which even without the sexual, dysphoria, confusion, pharma still leads to these kids fucking going ballistic in schools. You combine the fucking, you just got your genitals fucking cut off. Then yeah, you're making up a cocktail. Dude, it really is the tranny shit is like the ultimate weapon on the population. It handles the fertility issue they've been trying to get rid of us on. It handles the fucking reproduction. It handles the nuclear family issue for them. It handles the patriarchy. It handles everything. It's like, yeah, we're gonna start sterilizing you early, motherfucker. You're voluntarily gonna want to get sterilized and get purple hair. So the tranny bullshit takes care of a lot of their stated goals and objectives, if you will. Well, I don't know. I don't know how you, bro. I don't know how you have such an epic failure in parenting to even, again, but put yourself in a state like that. You were in California, you know, I don't know if you left before your kids were born or not or whatever, but what if, you know, your kid's in kindergarten and you're even one of us, you're like a red-pilled fucking wide awake to what's going on, and you're in LA County or something, and the teacher reports you and says, you know, your 5-year-old thinks he's a girl, and you're, you know, and now we're sending the county to, you know, take the kid, whatever. Like,
well, see, what they do is they actually have rules where the kids can keep that secret and the teachers don't have to talk about it, and then the kids can live, you know, little Charlie can live as Lisa for 5 or 6 years at school, so that their life becomes that. And then by the time they hit puberty, Charlene, yeah, whatever. And then by the time, you know, puberty hits, they can start taking their, you know, puberty blockers. That, I mean, we left LA to have kids. So we didn't want to have kids out there. That's to answer.
Are they doing this to all the groups or just Whitey? Are they trying to molest little?
Well, they know they can get away with white people because, you know, it's like there's a docility that's gotten into the majority of the whites that are here in the Western world. They just accept everything because they, as a race, it's been pretty much cucked. You know?
But if I wonder if I go to, is this same gay and tranny bullshit shoved down the blacks' throats in Chicago? Is it shoved down the Mexicans' throats in Los Angeles? Nope. Is it shoved down? Like, I don't think I know it's not shoved down the fucking Cubans' throats in Miami. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if this is targeted to just the white kids, like, or maybe, you know, it's targeted everyone. But
well, you have like it's targeted to feed and empower the devourer of civilizations, which is the liberal white woman. That's what it's for. And then you sit back and watch the destruction unfold. You don't need to do anything else.
Oh man,
because the liberal white woman belongs to a specific race, she'll ensure the destruction of her civilization, her progeny, her culture, her history. All you gotta do is fuel her. Just kick back and eat popcorn and watch what she does. It's incredible.
Oh man!
Look at Europe. The entire European Parliament is white liberal women with no kids dictating policy. The entire European Parliament, pretty much.
Straight into destruction.
Yeah. Release the Karen.
Go to Paris. Paris looks like Mogadishu, man.
Dude, I started. I've been saying forever. Well, 15 years ago is my favorite city in the world, but having gone 5 times, and the last time I went was with my mom. I took my mom because she'd never been in 2019. And that was like my 4th or 5th time there. And my mom saw it outside the Louvre and even in Champs-Élysées. And she's like, this is like fucking, Baghdad. Like, what the fuck is it? It's like, yeah. I'm like, it wasn't always like that. Only because, dude, it just started becoming, you saw it gradually over time. What that city was 20 years ago, it was something fucking special. What it is now, I don't know. I can't believe what they have allowed. I really can't. I mean, it's incredible.
When you understand the mindset of the liberal white woman, then it all makes sense. The devouring mother, bro. She's the epitome, the zenith of the devouring mother.
You were about to say something, Cowboy.
I was gonna ask, have you heard anything about Athens, Greece at all? Because I know about 20 years ago. Athens. Yeah. So my mother was born in Athens. So what I was going to ask was, so is it getting bad there? Because I know places like Italy has good intentions, but I think they're too far down the road to really make a difference. But you got Poland, you've got Hungary, like you've got countries that are not standing for the bullshit over in Europe, and they seem to be all towards the east. But I haven't heard anything about Greece at all.
Athens itself would be the ground zero of where you would find the imported savages. So if you go out to the villages, or I know they try sneaking in through the islands or whatever, but the islands in the summer are all tourists. The villages are all natives. Athens is where everyone goes. So any imports you have from the Middle East or from Africa or whatever are definitely nestled in the ghettos of Athens. Outside of that, no, you don't see them very often. I've never personally been to Thessaloniki, but Thessaloniki is supposed to be incredible. I think is supposed to be incredibly based. That's much where more of the money is, and it's much more Greek pride, and where Athens is like the international. In Italy, I would compare it to like, okay, Athens is obviously the capital of Greece, the cultural hub. Everyone knows all that shit. But in Italy, if you go to Milan and you go to Rome, you really see Milan as the woke city. Yeah. So Milan is the fashion and banking center of Italy, but it's also where you see all the fucking Africans and Middle Easterners. Yeah. So you go to the Milan train station, and it's just fucking low. You get off the Milan train station and you think you're in fucking Libya. You're like, what the fuck is this? You don't see that. You don't see that in Rome the way you do in Milan.
Yes, well, Greece. I spent a month in Sicily, which is where my family is from, going back way back, and it wasn't that. I mean, you saw some, and this was in 2012. You saw some people, but it was really relatively based. So shit, man, that was I don't know how many years ago that was. 12 years ago. Maybe it's changed. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, the bottom line is there aren't many places left to have the quiet espresso coffee overlooking 2,000-year-old architecture. Those places are getting smaller and smaller. I hope the Mediterranean turns it around. All the countries, Spain, Italy, Greece. I was supposed to go to Portugal for the first time this January. I don't know if that's going to happen, maybe. But my hope was always that the Mediterranean, my theory is the Mediterranean has been on the front lines of conflict you're less likely, the sales pitch that works on the Germans and the English and the French doesn't work on the Greeks, Italians, and Spanish as much, because they've been on the front lines of conflict for 2,500 years, with skirmishes in the Middle East or Egypt or Northern Africa. This has been a conquest war zone for 3,000 fucking years. So you're a lot less likely to get a Greek person to hate his grandfather than you are a German or an Englishman. I don't know if that makes sense or not. Like, you're a lot less
no,
likely,
it makes sense.
Yeah, you're not going to get an Italian to hate being Italian. Yeah, or you'll get an Englishman to hate being English. You'll get a German, but that shit doesn't work in the Mediterranean. So my hope was always like, there's too much pride. Like, there's pride. Again, it's not delusional tribalism, but you're not going to get a Greek to forget the stories that were told to him by his family. Like, oh yeah, I have to hate Grandpa, and I have to hate Homer, and Aristotle is a fucking dummy, and Alexander the Great, I should be embarrassed. Like,
yeah, Aristotle's an idiot, and so is Plato. Karl Marx is so much cooler. Lenin is the man.
No, it's just not gonna work. So, take it for what you will. I hope I'm right, and the Mediterranean turns it around, but we'll see. We'll see.
If there's any hope, it's the Southern Europeans, bro. The Mediterranean.
I agree.
Dude, the Sicilians used to live under absentee landlords, and they kept their culture going through the mafia, and they let whoever come and conquer them. But then they would just have their own way quietly. Might have to be like that for a minute.
The Greeks were the same under Turk occupation. The Spaniards were the same. The Spaniards have been multiple times. So hope is never lost. It's just a matter of, what makes unique to the Northern Europeans is they proactively endorse it. They proactively endorse their own destruction. Not only the oligarchs, so you might have like the Greek and Italian oligarchs pushing this shit, but the population in Northern Europe proactively, like, so that's what's mystifying to me. Again, there's a fine line between delusional tribalism versus having pride in your heritage. Like, and you should be able to not be delusionally tribal, but at the same time, yes, you should be proud of your ancestors.
Very well said. Gus, thank you for being on with us, folks. Thank you for listening in. We'll be back tomorrow. Again, folks, check him out. Gus Demos over at perpetualassets.com.
And remember, don't let Karens steamroll your children.
No, never. You got to draw the line somewhere, folks.
Of course.
Ferocity is like a muscle. You have to utilize it, otherwise it's gone from you forever. And you'll accept everything. Yeah.
Talk to you next week, boys.
Yep. Cheers. Bye, everyone.